Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel and the allotment, where I'm now starting to seriously look at harvesting what I can. And I want to start and get a lot of these peppers and chilies harvested. There's the Zabrange, there's the Frigitello, and there is the California Wonder, all looking fantastic. And as you can see, we've got plenty to go at. So I'm going to start harvesting out of here. Obviously, we're not going to eat all these. I'm going to give them to friends and neighbours and to the kids. So I've got to harvest these. I've got to start on get a lot of the tomatoes, particularly the Golden Sunrise. I need to get a lot of those out. They're starting to get really soft and split, so I've got to get those out. And yeah, it's all about closing down slowly but surely. Thank you very much to all those people that sent good luck messages with regards to my role now on the allotment site as chairman. I'm sure I'm going to need it. I do understand that it is quite a difficult role to balance, but I think at the end of the day it's all about fairness, honesty and consistency, and you know, making sure that you try and create an atmosphere that people want to come down and feel part of a community. And I think that way hopefully we'll get some support from the plot holders, because there are quite a number of tasks that need to be dealt with around the site, and of which I can show you one or two of those things as we go along. I've not got a lot of hair now anyway, but if in a few months time I'm looking even balder than that, then you know why. Right, let me get cracking with this, and then what we'll do is we'll go outside and have a look at those tomatoes. Excuse the wind, it's a little breezy out here. I'm putting together two little hampers for two of my neighbours. So I'm getting some of these beautiful Roma tomatoes. Yeah, I've just had somebody come over to me asking me various bits and pieces about the site, and I know that I'm going to have to get used to that, but it's all part and parcel of it, and I did expect it. So I'm just have to be a little bit more organised than I already am. There we go, there's two nice little hampers for my neighbours. Lovely fresh produce picked straight from the plant today, so I'll drop them in with them when I get home. Right, what I want to do now is go over and harvest one of these leeks, or two of these leeks should I say. I'm going to harvest that one in the tube there, and probably that one there, and let's have a look and see what the comparison is. Now, I'm not expecting these to be like Martin's. Martin has done that for a number of years, so he has sort of perfected it, if you like. But I've got some decent leeks, and I'm sure they'll all taste just as good. So I'm going to take, as I say, I'll take one out of the tube and I'll take this one out of the ground. So I'm going to take this one first, because the wife's going to make some soup. There we go. Now, I don't think that you'd be complaining too much about that leek. It's got plenty of white, probably around up to there. So, that ain't bad. I'm going to get plenty of green growth as well for the compost heap. So I'll bob that there. Right, let's see how dramatically I've failed. Just like Martin. Take the whole tube out. I'll just point this camera down a little bit for you. There you go. So I'll just knock all this off. This off from around here. This. Do you know what I'm probably best doing? Probably best cutting this green off here, and I might be able to pull it through. So let's just do that, shall we? As I say, some lovely green for the compost heap. Right, can I? Let's put one back. Now that, let's have a look. Move all this rubbish out of the way. Just look at the difference there in the white. So there we go. So if you put those both together, I mean, I know you've got this up here, but I think you've probably got enough white to where my finger is on this one here, but this one goes all the way up to the top. So do you know what? I think that is definitely worth doing. You're getting more leek for your buck. So there we go. Interesting. I know some of you are going to try it after seeing Martin's. Well, I will tell you now, I definitely recommend it, because I've never had as much white on my leeks ever in all the time I've been here. Brilliant, glad I did it. I'm going to get prepared next year and we're going to give it a real go. Clapping my hands like a sea lion there. Yeah, definitely. There's definite benefit to doing that. And the process is simple. You simply plant out your leeks just the same as you would do normally. Once the leek gets to a certain height, get one of the tubes, bob it over the top, hold the leek above it, and then just feed some compost down around the sides. Let the leek grow away. Once the leek has got to a certain size again, drop another pipe over the top, hold the leek, backfill it with compost again, and then tape around your pipes so that they join together. Martin did his in his greenhouse, so if you were to do it outside, I would suggest probably bobbing a cane down the pipe as well as the leek and pushing that into the ground so that the wind, so it'll support it from windy conditions. But that's a practice that I'm going to be doing from now on, and it might mean that I don't have to grow as many leeks, because I'm going to be getting maybe a third more. Just wondered if you could help me out. This is the squash bed. There's crookneck over there, and there are some butternuts over here. Now, when do you know a butternut is ready? Is this about the right size. I'm unsure, because if it is, then I have a number of these around this end, and a few up the top end, so I just want to know when is the best time to harvest them. So going on that, would you say that that's ready to come away? Let me know in the comments, it'd be much appreciated. I came down yesterday and managed to harvest the 2 rows of Desiree that were here, and to be fair, quite disappointed in them really, because I've had some decent sized ones in the past. There's one that got away, but they were all sort of around that size, maybe the odd one a little bit bigger. So the dry conditions may not have suited this variety. These, I can't quite remember, I think these are the Cara, that are still greenish, so I'll probably be looking to get those out maybe at some point over the next couple of weeks. And as I've mentioned, there'll be plenty of manure and hopefully leaf mould going into this bed over the winter. More advice needed. This is my buddleja globosa. Now, the first year that I put it in, I think for all those subscribers that have been with me for quite a while, it had an abundance of globe type, orangey yellow type flowers, and the bees and butterflies got absolutely drunk on the stuff, and I'm really pleased. I saw this plant first time in my next door neighbour's garden. Well, in my next door neighbour's garden, he's passed away now, many years ago, and I loved it. And then I saw one of the plot holders had it on her plot, so I took some cuttings, and that's what these are. And in the first year, as I said, they were fantastic. Then I cut them down last year, and I think I did it around January, and this year they've not flowered. So can somebody let me know when is best to prune this globosa? I mean, it is a big plant, and it casts a little bit of shade, but the intention is to prune it right down to the ground every year. But the first time I did it at the wrong time. So if anybody knows that, again, in the comments, it'd be much appreciated. More beetroot required. I absolutely love this stuff. And what I think, by growing it in its drills, what I think the benefit to that is it actually slows the growth down. And what that means is you can leave them in the ground a little bit longer. But some of them get to a fair size, like that, which is ideal, I think, and then round there. And some are a little bit smaller. But I think all I've done is planted it in a drill. I've not thinned them out, I've just left them to their own devices. And I think what they do is, yes, some of them get away, take everything, and you produce something like that. But then the others at the side that may struggle to get the nutrients, they can be like that. But all of them are good to eat. And beetroot is, after all, a superfood. These carrots are looking healthy enough. A lot of top growth on them. There's a few slug holes in these. Let's have a look. But to be fair, a few more weeks and they'll be a decent size. Lovely and sweet. Some flowers for the wife. Keep me in the good books. Well, that brings us to the end of another midweek update, which has been quite a week really, particularly after Sunday. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for the lateness that the video went up this Sunday. I don't know what happened, but it did affect the numbers of viewers because it was saying that, you know, your viewers are not around now. But I obviously, because of the AGM meeting, I normally upload around 2 o'clock on a Sunday. Well, the meeting didn't finish while 2 o'clock. I had to come down here, close the video, and then go up home, edit it and get it up. But I did that quite quickly, and I would say that probably I started to upload it about 3:15, and believe it or not, I think it was like somewhere around 12 o'clock at night before it actually went up. So apologies for that. But yes, been quite a week, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to show you some of the things that we as a committee are going to try and implement around the site, try and make improvements. We've got a lot of plots that need to be trimmed down and made to look, you know, presentable, so as that people coming to view plots are keen to take them. I think what we are going to look to do is try and convert some of these full plots into half plots, because I think it would serve well in two purposes. Somebody coming on, taking a half plot, obviously they've got half the land to look after, so hopefully that will encourage them to do well, and crack on. It may be that, you know, they do really well and they've got it growing, they come to us afterwards and say, look, you know, we really would like a full plot. Well, they would get priority then because they're already on site, and when a full plot become available, they could have that then. But that's almost like a vetting system. So somebody coming on with a half plot, if they can't manage a half plot and they leave, then it's just a half plot that we've got to get tidy for the next person. So I think we don't have many half plots on site, and I think that that's something we've got to look into. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to show you some of the things that we do around the site. Obviously I've got to be very cautious of, you know, people that might not want to appear on a video. I've also got to be cautious about exactly what I show you. You know, I don't want to show things that might encourage somebody who's watching to come on and do any sort of damage or anything like that. So it will be very much vetted, and I'll also seek permission from the rest of the committee to see if we can do that. But I just think it would be a good angle to show, you know, from a committee side as well as the plot holder side that I've been doing for the last couple of years. So yeah, things have changed. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish up watering, and then I'm going up to the front gate, and a few of us are coming up there to do some litter picking, and we're also going to try and start and clear the entrance and just try and make the entrance a more welcoming space. So that's what I'm going to do from now. But at this point, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody your positive messages. I know I say the same thing at the end of every video, but I do honestly mean that. I do appreciate it. If you are watching and you've not subscribed, it'd be brilliant if you'd subscribe. If you're watching it and you've enjoyed it, it'd be brilliant if you bobbed a like in. And even better, even if you just put a love heart or a thumbs up, drop me a comment. It really does work wonders for the channel. Right guys, I'm going to get myself off, as I say. I hope you all have a great rest of the week, and I'll be back at the weekend with some more allotment capers. But until then, I'm Mal, known as the Veg Plot Man. Take care and happy growing.